We'll end our triple header here at the Pocono Raceway with the Gatorade Cup Series race, the Pocono 424 laps around this tricky triangle, 2.5 miles each time. On the pole, the 19 of Danny Lloyd, 2's outside, third in points, TJ Hanley. Then 30 of James Tableo, Eli Bright in fourth, and Jeff Bright rounds out the top five. Then 60 of Colton Yo, 7th Alexander Rowe, winner of the target race yesterday, Jay Jefferson 8th, 9th of Mac Johnson, and Griffin Lynn rounding out the top 10. The rest of the field is Steve Larker and Jack Marshall. Then there's Jonathan Beeford and Steve Morgan, Tyler Fink along with Dale Lightning. They have Derek Hamill and Jake Galloway, Joe Jefferson and Patrick Smith. They have Riley Sampson and Jake West, Max Anderson and Taylor Bryan Price. They have Carter Friesen and Stephen Baker, Trey Rainey and John Gambit. Then there's Carson Bowers and Nathan Stapleton, Johnny Gardner and Derek Bouchard. They have Justin Zidell and Luke Rainey, Luigi Octavo, who's second in points, and Jonathan Rains. Then there's Stephen Taylor and Sebastian Kukulon, Code Luigi and Benny Watson. And in the final row, Isaac Nichols with Diego Yepes starting 42nd here in the Pocono 400 at the Pocono Raceway. Let's get going with our starting command.
On behalf of the many great folks at Bass Pro Shops, Tracker, and MB&A, gentlemen, start your engines!
Business as usual today, buddy. Nice and easy. Give your seatbelts a little tucked for me, buddy. You're ready to rock and roll. Buddy, be ready here now. Feel that thing out real good here for the first lap or so. Make sure you got a good feel for it.
About to go racing here at Pocono for 24 laps. Here at the tricky triangle, getting closer to the all-star race, which will be big for many drivers, so some wanting to lock their way in, others trying to get themselves in position as we're getting down towards chase time. Pace car in. Two Toyotas on the front row for the start of the Pocono 400. Into the restart zone, and we are racing. Green flag in the air. Three wide for a second into the tunnel turn, lap one. Jeff Wright made a three-way move to the bottom lane, trying to get into Stabolito there. Some contact between Hanley, Stabolito, and Jeff Bright. They sell it down to double foul now for a second. Stabolito gets clear. Now it's the battle for third. Hanley up top, Jeff Bright down low. Mac Johnson, Alexander also on the bottom lane. As they come through three, lap one will be led by pole sitter Danny Lloyd. But look at Stabolito with the run in that draft. Down the front stretch, he comes to his back bumper. So Lloyd leads lap one, but Stabolito coming to the bottom lane off into turn number one. That number 10 car looking strong, but the bottom lane not the place to be in one unless you're far enough alongside that car to where he can make it work, but not enough there for the 10. He's going to slide back, and Jeff Bright, the 5, is gaining down the back stretch. We'll see if the 5 of Jeff Bright can do anything here, trying to get to second. TJ Henley looking for a way to go. He's right now fourth. Eli Bright trying to get to fifth. He's trying to clear Alexander Rowe. Couldn't get it done there. Jeff onto the back of Stabolito. Mac Johnson spinning it around. That's the inside wall. He does come off and gets a huge crash. He's up on his side. Joe Jefferson as well is spinning around. The big one here at Pocono. We see it so many times. Cars project off the inside wall. Johnson, the one here today. Yellow flag is out. Danny Lloyd leads us back to the caution flag. Not many cars get away as well. Zidell is back there. Octavo second in points. Stapleton's all torn up. They wrecked in three. That's Stephen Baker coming down pit road. Tyler Fink. There's two Stewart Haas cars along with Hendrick Motorsports Chevrolet, Mac Johnson. I think maybe the CGR cars could have been involved. Stephen Taylor might have some damage. Nichols in the 48 got some front end damage. There's Derek Bouchard. Luke Rainey has some side damage as well. Here's a stack up. Big stack up. Max Harrison, your points leader, gets into it. Oh, they're going way too fast, and there's no reason to be flying into that. Now they're sitting sideways on the track, and they're going to get even more cars with damage. Yeah, right there. And that's not... Yep, all those cars are going to be out now. So we'll see what happened. Caution number one here early on. Danny Lloyd leads us back, but it's the big one with Mac Johnson being projected off the inside wall. Through the tunnel turn is one of the most dangerous... it's probably the most dangerous part of this track. And Steve Larker kind of gets up into the Mac Johnson there and spins the 24 around, never lifts. And there goes Johnson heading down towards the inside wall, and he hits at a hard angle. He hits the inside wall first, and then he bounced off that other inside wall back across the track, gets Joe Jefferson, Tyler Fink. Those guys go on their side. Jake Galloway, I think, somehow got away with minimal damage. Taylor Bryan Price did a great job. 41 still bucking around. I don't think either one of them goes upside down, though. And then other cars just start getting into it from there. There's Nichols with his damage. Code Luigi got some damage there. Yeah, Pez was back there. Kukulon sent backwards. And a lot of these guys that got away actually got more damage on the stack-up than they did in this crash. That's just a tough break for Mac Johnson. He's one of the 3 Hendrick cars starting inside the top 10. Thought they maybe had a great chance of winning here today, but now one of them, or in fact 2 of them, taken out in this one. Nichols got some pretty heavy damage as well. So that's the big one down the Long Pond straightaway. Danny Lloyd, your pole sitter, leads us back to the caution flag, and he has stayed on the racetrack. I don't think everyone has, though. I think we've seen some cars come down the pit lane. Yeah, some have come down. I believe second place may have come down. You can see all the cars at the back with damage coming down, trying to maybe get that repair and see if they can do anything there. So you can see all the cars that stayed out here. And there's the 10 of Stabalil, just taking fuel only for these drivers. There's the 10 leaving. He's going to beat Colton Yo out, so Stabalil will be first off pit road. He has some more fuel than the other drivers in case something maybe happens. Colton Yo also came down along with Galloway, Marshall. There's that Trey Rainey in the 95. There's your points leader, Max Anderson, in pit road, some heavy damage. So we'll see how that affects this. A lot of cars have stayed out. We'll sort it all out once we go back to the green flag. Danny Lloyd still leading here in the Pocono 400. Coming back green, there's a lot to recap here at Pocono. First, the cars that are out. A lot of them actually out from the stack-up after the fact. Mac Johnson, Jake West, Joe Jefferson, Stephen Baker, Justin Zidell, Luigi Octavo, Sebastian Kukulon, Jonathan Rains, Code Luigi, Isaac Nichols, Benny Watson, Derek Bouchard, Carson Bowers, John Gambit, Tyler Fink, and Carter Friesen. So Danny Lloyd will be leading on this restart. First off pit road with some fresh tires. You can see with some fresh fuel. You can see right there the damaged cars, Patrick Smith and Jonathan Beefer in the middle. James Sableo first off pit road in 11th. But then we had some others come down after the fact to try and get some more fuel in the car. They topped off with about 1 to go. That's Alexander Rowe, Derek Hamill, Griffin Lynn, and Taylor Bryan Price. 26 cars on the racetrack. We've got the field and a pretty good split right there. So into the restart zone, front 10 have stayed on the racetrack. They have not pitted for fuel yet this race. We're back racing, green flag back out. Hanley going low, Eli Bright, Jay Jefferson, cars breaking low, and everyone's trying to get around the damaged cars. Now, the downside to pitting with 1 to go is the fact that you're going to restart behind those damaged cars. You're going to have to get around them because they already came down pit road. Down the backstretch, Hanley grabs second from Jeff Bright. Eli's trying to grab third from that 5. 2 teammates side by side, 2 relatives as well. Jay Jefferson, the 70, up inside the top 5. He lurked around the top 5 all day yesterday before getting up to the front late to win. Hanley to the inside. He's won 2 this season, looking for a third. Through 3, he's side by side with Lloyd, the 19 up the track a little bit. Hanley going to try and bury it down to the bottom. They're still side by side as they come off turn number 3. Who has the advantage with the draft? Jay Jefferson trying to go through. That could break the momentum of the 88 and the 23. Lloyd leads the lap. Hanley still trying to get that push from the 88. Jefferson's going to get back up in line. Jeff Bright's pushing the 19. 2 Tims at the front. It's 2 Toyotas being pushed by 2 Hendrick Motorsports Chevrolets, both with the last name Bright. Eli tried to go low there, 3 wide, actually helped Hanley out a little bit there. So he got a little bit higher, so they come down the backstretch. Danny Lloyd gets clear. He's keeping the race lead. Hanley still second. It's still the battle for third. Eli Bright and Jeff Bright. Jay Jefferson, Dale Lightning, Steve Morgan, Riley Sampson. Hanley once again through the tunnel turn with a huge run, getting it beside the 19 of Danny Lloyd off into turn 3. Eli Bright still trying to clear Jeff Bright. They come off turn number 3. Side by side for the race lead. Hanley with a little bit of a gap this time. A little bit of advantage for the 23 there, but Lloyd, I think, may have led the lap. No, Hanley did by a nose. He has the advantage off into turn 1. Can he use the push from the 88 to get clear? Through 1. Tight again down low for Hanley, and Lloyd powering off the top side. Now TJ's wondering, what can I do here to get by that 19? I'm a little bit faster than him. I just have to find a way to get around. Jeff Wright was blocked there by Hanley, slowed his momentum up. Eli once again has that fight for third. He just can't get it done. So hard to complete a pass here at Pocono. And the farther you get to the front, hard it's going to be. You can see Eli finally pulls up in line right in front of Jay Jefferson, right behind Jeff Wright. Front few, single file here in the Pocono 400. Jay Jefferson for fourth and Eli Bright. That could work out, though. He has some cars behind him. Colton Yo, he came down pit road for some fuel, like James Stablito. He's up inside the top 10 right now, going for 6th on Riley Sampson. As Hanley once again, side by side with Lloyd. He's trying to make it work one of these laps. Tight once again. Lloyd powers off the top of turn 1 to clear. And Hanley now has his hands full with the brights. Jeff and Eli. Here comes Jay Jefferson and Riley Sampson. They come down low. And Hanley, with those moves being made, he might be able to keep 2nd right here. Jeff trying to bury it to the bottom lane. Gets a little tight right there. Slides up. That actually helped Eli a little bit there. Get back to the outside. He's for 3rd now. To the outside, Jeff right in the 5. Yeah, that 5 getting slowed up really helped the 88 there. See how prevalent the draft here is as well. Down the front stretch, that draft propelling that 23 back to the 19. Once again, looking to the inside for Hanley. Let's see if he can make it work here this time. He has a gap behind him, so if it doesn't work, he can kind of fade back and get that run once again. But right there, you can see the 19 just right here. Oh, he powers off the corner, but Hanley did a better job that time than they did the last few. Yeah, I don't know if he's going to be able to keep it beside the 19, but definitely worked a little bit better that time than it did the previous times. Eli's gotten cleared for 3rd. Here he comes into this fight. Riley Sampson is now up to 4th in the 18. He was on the outside as well. Jeff Bright back to 5th. Colton Yo with some more fuel than these drivers up to 6th. Eli wondering where he's going to go. He goes to the outside lane. Can he make that work? If he can get outside that 23, he could definitely make it work, but I think he's going to fade back right there. Here comes Jeff Bright and Riley Sampson to the bottom lane. Sampson side by side with Eli. Jeff Bright looking 3 wide. Gets back in line with the 18 car, trying to push him by his teammate Eli Bright. Eli going to try and keep it to the outside of the 18, get the run off the corner right here. Sampson tight down low. Eli gets clear for 3rd. Coutinho tight back there. He's trying to get by the 5 of Jeff Bright. Halfway this time by, it'll be 12 laps of racing go. Danny Lloyd's led every lap, but much like the Target race yesterday, he started on pole, a car stole it toward middle race, and then a car later in the race stole it. That was Jay Jefferson, who was driving the 28 yesterday. Will we see something similar here today? Can Hanley, can Eli Bright get up there? Can maybe Riley Sampson or Jeff Bright? Jay Jefferson's lurking back around 7th. He's not out of this thing quite yet. And Colton Young has some more fuel than these drivers in case maybe he can somehow make it. Halfway, 12 to go. Eli to the inside of Hanley. And this can actually help the 23 out if Eli cannot make the pass right here. I think that it's going to be a little tight down there. Right there, a little tight. Now Hanley was on the outside, so he's going to get a good run right here down the backstretch. That's what he needed. Good run for the 23, but can he get beside the 19 off into the tunnel turn? This would be the place to make the pass. Sampson for 3rd on Eli. Jeff goes up with his teammate. Close there between the 18 and the 88. TJ got a little tight there and couldn't make a move on the 19. He's into turn 3. Still single file at the front. No one able to make a move on the 19 of Danny Lloyd. Eli Bright powers off the top of turn 3 to try and keep 3rd. And he does keep 3rd. Sampson back to 4th. Here comes Jeff Bright on the outside trying to grab 4th now. Colton Young to the inside of the 18. They could go 3 wide into turn 1. See how spread out the field is because of some of the damaged cars. Jeff trying to grab 4th. 3 wide. Colton Young to the bottom. Sampson in the middle lane. Jeff with that power move off the top. Trying to get clear right here. And Jay Jefferson following through in the 78 car. Jeff gets to 4th. Now it's side by side for 5th. 2 Toyotas. Jay Jefferson up top in the 78. Sampson down low in the 18. The inside lane definitely the better place to be in the tunnel turn. I believe, yep, Sampson does get it. So when do these guys have to pit? Will they have to pit? Can someone try and stay out and stretch it? We're coming to 10 laps to go. Still tons of time left. Can anyone line up and make a move around the 19 of Danny Lloyd? Can Eli try and push Hanley up there? It would be in Eli's best interest, I would say, to get behind that 23, give him a push into these corners and down the straightaways to try and make it work. But right here, once again, to the inside of the 23. Tight down low for that 88, but Jeff Bright did follow him through. We'll see if Jeff tries to make a move right here for 3rd. Down the back, he did try and make a move, but I believe his momentum was slowed. He's probably just going to try and get back up in line. Yes, he does. And now Sampson has a run from 5th, Jefferson 6th, and Colton Yo has been shuffled behind James Stablio. So now Stablio, the first car off pit road, in 7th. And then Alexander Rowe, who pitted a few laps later than those drivers, he's right now bound for a top 10. And then you got some of the others that were kind of stuck back here, and some of the damaged cars as well. They're just kind of fading back here. You can see some of the, like Nathan Stapleton and them. Once again, side by side, Hanley and Lloyd. Lloyd once again leading. Eli and Jeff, excuse me, side by side back there for 3rd, but Eli's still drafting up, and the outside lane is obviously going to be able to make it work in 1. TJ still trying. I think he's tried everywhere but the place he has to try and make it work. He has to try and make it work down the straightaway and off into turn 2. If he could do that, I think he can make the pass in the 19. It looks like he's had the better car here so far today. Eli looking for second, the 88. We've not had a new driver in second since the restart. So maybe if someone else other than Hanley was second, would it work out a little bit better? You can see single file here at the front. Now I think some cars are going to start to come down. You can see them going low. I think I saw the 10 going high. 23, 88 and others hitting pit road. Lloyd stays out from the race lead. Now the cars that came down here are the 10, the 37, 72, 22, 95, 7, 15, 1, 31 on back to the 2. They have stayed out on the racetrack. They have some more fuel. So they can try and stretch it here, try and put those guys lap down, hope for a yellow. See, these drivers have not even hit their pit stalls yet. It's a long pit road, a long, slow pit road. And maybe some of those drivers that came down pit road, do they dare just take fuel only? Because some of these drivers are going to be taking tires. Galloway leaves, but I believe he came in a lap sooner. Unless he just decided to take fuel only. So Hanley leaves first of these drivers. Sampson gains a spot on Eli Bright. Now let's see. Danny Lloyd's coming this time. The 10 will stay. I believe that was Colton Yo coming down pit road. The 72, 22, 95 on back to the 2 have stayed on the racetrack. Stabliello grabs the race lead now. 7 laps of racing to go. 3 cars break away. It's the 10 of James Stabliello, the 72 of Alexander Rowe, and the 22 of Jack Marshall. So let's see. Hanley getting up to speed right here. He's well out ahead of the 18 and the 88. Makes how far ahead these drivers are. I'm trying to see if the 11 is either just taking fuel only, trying to get out ahead of these drivers, or if he's a lap down. Let's come back. Oh, he had the pitting glitch. That's what happened. Now where's Danny Lloyd? Here he comes out of the pit stall. He's the number 1 pit stall. It's going to take a little bit longer for him to get up to speed. Colton Yo's right behind him. Where does Hanley come out in relation to the 19? Here he comes, blazing down the front stretch. Can he get to Lloyd in time? The 10, the 22 fit the pits. The 72 stays out. I believe Yo may be able to gain some positions off of this in the 37 car. He's still getting up to speed, but Hanley just got around him. Sampson might be able to get around. We'll see if Eli and Jeff can do so, but I believe Yo! Whoa! My gosh. So Lloyd keeps the race lead for now on pit stops, but still staying on the racetrack with the race lead. It's Alexander Rowe, the 72. Taylor Brian Price, Griffin Lynn, Derek Hamill have also stayed on the racetrack. When do these drivers decide to hit the pits? We're coming to 5 laps to go this time. And we'll see. It's just gonna be one of those games played. Who makes it? Who doesn't? Sampson on Hanley for second. What we assume to be second. But gets back up in line. Kind of saw this last season though. Driver dominated the race and lost at the end because they were able to get past at the end. 72 is still on the racetrack. The 15 has stayed out. The 55, the 15's teammate still out. The 7 of Griffin Lynn has hit the pits. That leaves 3 cars that have stayed on the racetrack. These drivers hoping for a yellow to come out, which could happen. The 13 is out of fuel on the backstretch. If he stops in a place where maybe officials think would be hazardous, that could cause a yellow flag. Still green for now. But if the yellow comes out, this could be Rowe in victory lane. Trying to see the caution lights if I could see if the yellow's out. Can't tell. Caution is out! 4 to go. Rowe gets back. But does he have the fuel? Now where are the drivers that have pitted, like the 23 and the 19? They've not taken the caution flag yet. They're 5th, 6th, and all that. There's Hamill in 3rd. Price in 2nd, who's 4th. That's Griffin Lynn. Has he taken the caution flag, though? I think he's going to be behind these drivers right here, like the 19. Yellow is out. Now it's a fuel game. And now you want to be the one, maybe Lloyd or Hanley. You know you have enough fuel. The 72 and others are questionable. We're coming to see 4 to go right here. It's far from over, though. So Lloyd back. We know he has enough fuel. But how does the 72 and the others do? Some others were running out. The 72, the 15, and the 55 on the same strategy, hoping for each other to run out. We know why the caution came out. It's because the car stopped on the racetrack, and now it's the longest 3.5 laps in some of these drivers' lives. 19 to 23. 19 mostly, hoping that these drivers maybe run out of fuel. Marshall was able to gain a few spots on pits there. And the rest of you, how about Luke Rainey in 13th with damage? And some of these drivers right here that we've not talked about. 72 is low. I think he's coming in. How about the 15s? I think they're all coming in. I don't think they have enough fuel to make it. Rowe will surrender the lead. Thought Price was maybe thinking about staying out. We'll see. I think they're out, though. They're kind of slower. 3 come down pit road. We're hearing they're out of fuel. That will hand the lead to Danny Lloyd, who's dominated this race. And now he has to coast it around for 3 laps. But as we saw in the Pennzoil Truck Series race, win is not guaranteed until you take the checkered flag. Code Luigi blew up with the race lead under caution with only a few laps to go. So anything can happen here. We'll come back at the white flag and we'll see who crossed the line in first. Well, Lloyd, we think, has it. Let's have to wait, though. He still has about half a lap left. And at the end, only 24 cars finished the race, and only 23 are on the lead lap. The 55, 15, 72, and the 7 that were all in the same strategy will finish 15th, 16th, 17th, and 18th. The rest of the cars up here getting their final positions as long as they can make it to the checker flag. It's going to be another second place for TJ Hanley this season, but still such a consistent season for him. Meanwhile, Danny Lloyd, he may have lost the target race yesterday, but today he's going to be a winner in the Gatorade Cup Series. 19 car, Joe Gibbs Racing, going to victory lane in the Pocono 400. Danny Lloyd wins here at the Tricky Triangle. He played the right strategy, that's for sure. As the field comes across, let's go check out the finishing results. Here are the finish results from the Pocono 400 at the Pocono Raceway. There were 2 caution flags for 8 laps and 5 lead changes among 4 different drivers. Danny Lloyd absolutely dominated this race from the pole, leading 18 of the 24 laps. TJ Hanley ends up 2nd, Riley Sampson in 3rd, James Sabalio 4th, and Jack Marshall rounding up the top 5. They have Eli Bright in 6th, Jeff Bright 7th, Colton Yo in 8th, Jay Jefferson 9th, and Luke Rainey, who won here at Pocono last season, will round out with the top 10 with the damaged race car. There's your top 20. I believe Yepes started 42nd like the past 3 races or something. He's finished pretty well in all of them. So Yepes, another great result, can definitely move him up in the point standings. At the end, 18 cars on the lead lap. It was a very destructive Pocono race after that big one occurred. And then the stack up under the yellow is what really caused a lot of the drivers to retire from the race. Let's now go look at the point standings. Here are the points as we head from Pocono. Max Anderson does keep the points lead, but with the bad race and with Hanley having a great race, Hanley moves up to 2nd in points, only 25 back of the lead. Luigi Actevo falls to 3rd, 58 back. They have Alexander Rowe. Thought he was going to get another win this season. He's 4th. Jack Marshall rounds out the top 5 in 5th. They have Taylor Ryan Price in 6th, James Dabalio 7th, Stephen Taylor 8th, Danny Lloyd that went up to 9th, and Dale Lightning rounds out the top 10. There is your top 20. Nathan Stapleton, Sebastian Kulan, 2 of the RCR teammates fall outside the top 10 points. Stapleton does not have a win. He's only 1 point out of the chase, though. Kukulan, with his 2 wins, is one of the wild cards. Carter Friesen, with his victory, is also another wild card. They have some other drivers sprinkled in there. Last season's champion, Griffin Lynn, has not let anyone get away. He's still 14th in points. Jeff Bright back up to 15th. Trey Rainey holding a solid top 20. John Gambit, Diego Yepes found his way inside the top 20. Luke Rainey trying to make his way back up. 21st to 40th, Morgan, Bright, Jefferson, Nichols, Luigi. All these drivers are very close to being in that top 20. Yeah, I would say realistically, if you're top 30, you're still thinking about the chase and trying to get up into the top 20. You're not really, if you're someone like maybe Jonathan Rains or Baker, West, Bowers, Joe Jefferson, you might be looking towards that all-star race and thinking, if I can win, I'm going to get into the chase. So anything can happen, though. Still tons of time left before the chase. The All-Star race also coming up after Dover, which is the next race. So we'll be going to Dover. After that, the All-Star race. Everyone trying to get a win here to get into the All-Star race, the Goodies 400. I'll see you guys then.